It has been over a year since my breakup that I genuinely thought I was never going to survive. So here's everything I've learned. Everything does not have to be okay. As soon as I stopped forcing myself to try to be okay and just came to terms with this was how I felt, I was doing so much better. Love leaves a hefty scar. It will heal, but grief is unfortunately a very heavy thing to carry. Eventually, I learned to give myself grace for my non-linear path of healing. The second thing I learned was to text your ex. I have always been someone that lives my life off of the saying of having no regrets. I'm honestly so thankful I'm like that because anytime I had any emotions, I would always communicate that when we would have conversations. And so because of that, there was never any question about where we stood with each other. Because everything was expressed, there was never this idea of like somebody's not saying anything out of fear. The next and most important is definitely to cut the energy cord. I was a chronic online stalker and I always found what I was looking for, which didn't make me happy. The problem is when you do this is that you trick your brain into thinking this person is still around and it keeps that pain very fresh. The best thing I ever did was remove the person from my socials, all of their friends. We had a lot of mutuals. I don't care how it made me look. If I saw anything that was like affiliated, I blocked them too. It's really hard sometimes to combat that inner dialogue in your brain, but you can control your environment. Next thing, I saw this post on Twitter. It said, your ego can have you crying over a closed door that has nothing behind it. I would often find myself, and I'll be completely honest with you, I still sometimes find myself missing this connection that I had with this person. Then I sit there and I think about it and I'm like, what am I crying over? Something that came up in therapy for me a lot was my therapist telling me, if this person came back into your life, would you take them back? And the answer was always no. And the question of like, what's the purpose of all this missing if you don't want to get back with this person? And I realized it was just my ego revolting over someone rejecting my love in a sense. This one was the hardest to learn and I still feel like it's something I struggle with. That one is that somebody can be the love of your life, and even with that sincere emotion, it does not mean that they are your soulmate. I truly do believe, especially if you're someone that grew up with significant childhood trauma, some people are really just meant to show you and teach you your worth. What you went through, what you experienced, how they make you feel, that person is not meant for you. Life will find a way to remove them over and over and over again. I'm a huge believer that love really is a choice, and sometimes both parties don't align, but I think that that's what makes love that does work out so much more beautiful, because you have to think about what a miracle it is for two people to find each other, continue to choose every day actively to love each other. That is so rare, y'all. That kind of drives me into the next thing I learned. Just because someone has told you that they're a soulmate or they're gonna fight for you doesn't mean that that truth extends beyond the time period that they said it. One of the worst things I ever did was like holding on to these phrases and really put me into this mindset like, okay, they're just struggling. Clearly they said this so they mean it, so they're just having a problem, they'll come back later. I know we hear it all the time and I used to hate it, but your soulmate really is not gonna let you sit there and hurt. The truth is that breakups suck whichever side you're on, and oftentimes they kind of just get our ego kickstarted. Sometimes people just don't want to see you go because it hurts their ego. This one was really important for me during the whole breakup process, but it was to never assume that they aren't also hurting. A lot of times we think very parallel to our own ways of functioning with things, which just isn't true because everybody is different. However, you can equate pain to love. So while for me it kind of helped understand that this person like isn't a psychopath and they actually do feel emotions, it wasn't to be confused with like, oh, they still care for me because they're hurting. Last but not least, this is super cliche, but it really is true. You have to value the fact that you found your ability to love so deeply. I am so thankful I got to experience that because I was definitely like a very cold person before, and the fact that I saw myself like entirely transformed for somebody that I was really like, I would die for you. I wanted to close this out with something my therapist once told me, which was to imagine that you have your favorite flower vase and it broke, so you keep trying to glue it back together and it's just not holding water, and now you decide to stop trying to piece this vase back together and instead turn it into a beautiful mosaic art piece. After you're done with that, you realize that it's just never gonna hold water again, but now it's created this beautiful art piece. Moral of that story is that sometimes things don't need to be put back together, they just need to be transformed.
Here are some things I wish I knew a year ago when I had just gotten my heart broken in a cruel, unexpected way. Okay, here's what I would tell myself. Every single thing you're experiencing, the dwelling on the details, the constant questions and thoughts in your head 24/7 for months, the pain that you feel, the deep betrayal feeling, everything that you're feeling, it is all temporary. It is all temporary. It will get better. It will go away. Time does heal, but you cannot just leave it up to time alone. If you allow yourself to dwell, if you allow yourself to sit and do nothing but dwell all day, is gonna go a lot slower. What you have to do is keep going. Get out of the house. Go to new things. It's so important that you start meeting new people. And I'm not talking about dating. Do not start dating, at least until 6 months. But just start going to new clubs, making new friends, people who didn't know you with this person, so that you can start making this new identity. Time heals, but it goes a lot quicker if you get up and start creating this new version of yourself. Because here's the thing, you are mourning yourself. You do lose a part of yourself. You lose the version that you were in this relationship. And the longer you try to sit in this version and stay in this version, the longer that the suffering goes. Keep going out and living your life, okay? It's going to feel miserable. You're going to feel empty every day for a long time. But eventually, you are going to build a new identity, a new self away from this person. And when this happens, slowly, all of the love that you gave that was never reciprocated will make its way back to you through other people, through friends, family, strangers. After feeling empty for so long, you will start to feel so fulfilled by all of these new friends, these new experiences, these new memories. You start to see that there is more life to live. Here's the biggest key I want you to know. Everything can be healed through love and education. That's why you keep meeting new people. You keep creating this love. You are the love you give. You are not the love you receive. Okay? Love and education. Read books, listen to podcasts, however you prefer to learn. Do this in order to learn what you're feeling, to understand what you're feeling, to understand why someone could have done this, to understand that people are just different and sometimes incompatible. Education and love. I'm telling you. Be careful not to idolize this person. We often do this because when someone walks away, it's like they hold the key to our happiness, right? If they would just come back, if they would just take us back, then we can feel happy. Doing this puts them on a pedestal because right now they're in control of your emotions. They seem like the cool one for being able to walk away while you're the one dealing with all of this pain and stress. They are not better than you. They are not on a pedestal because they walked away. They likely have many of their own issues that made them this way. Okay, you are not any less just because that. Realize the only reason that you feel like they're more, that you feel like you're idolizing them, is because you are giving them the key to your emotions. It is time to take that back when you give yourself closure and realize, hey, I actually don't want to be with someone who doesn't choose me, someone that can't see all of the amazing parts of me, someone that can't see everything I have to value. They are missing out. I do not want to be with someone like that. This will take many months to come to this conclusion, but you'll get there someday. Do not credit all of the pain that you're feeling to this person, because they are not responsible for it. They did not create the abandonment wound, they just reopened it. And every time you've been abandoned in your life, all of that came to the surface. This is making you feel unworthy. This is making you feel so horrible and alone. Healing starts with dealing with things that happened long before this person. Chances are that them walking away simply confirmed deeply rooted negative beliefs that you already held about yourself. This is a great opportunity to start reevaluating those and uprooting those so that you can have a better self-image and not fall for this again. You have to focus on feeling complete and fulfilled in every aspect of your life, okay? Financially, with your career, with your family, with your friends, whatever it may be, you need to feel secure with your confidence, with your self-love. You need to feel secure in every aspect, because if you do not, you are going to idolize this person more because they gave you something you couldn't give yourself. When you give yourself everything you could need, it's a lot easier for you to move on because you're not using someone to fill a void and they're not giving you something that you already don't have. This will also set you up better for when you date in the future. When you miss them, when you miss having your person, this is a prime opportunity to show up for yourself. Right now, you tie your security to them because they were your person, they were your safe place. When you are missing them, that's your body telling you, I need to feel safe, I don't feel safe, I don't feel secure. Show up for yourself. Figure out what you need to do to self-soothe, to comfort yourself. Literally talk to yourself why you're gonna be okay, why this was for the best, and this is how you start becoming a secure base for yourself. This is how you build secure attachment and you do not feel dependent on someone else any longer. The most important thing is the belief you hold inside of you. And as you go through this, I need you to remind yourself, no matter how horrible you feel, you need to always tell yourself, life only takes things away to make room for what's coming and to turn me into who I need to be to receive it. You need to hold that belief so deeply and remind yourself of that. That is what will keep you going. The last thing you need to know. You are going to grow into a version of yourself that you could have never imagined, better than you've ever been, because you went through this experience. You are going to learn and grow and evolve so greatly because of this. People come into our lives for a reason to teach us something. Let yourself learn the lesson, and you will be amazed at who you become. I promise you, this is your future self talking to you because I've lived this.
Let's talk about what I did to heal myself from an 8-year relationship to now being with my dream man. And it's literally about to be 2.5 years and like 2 weeks. And when I tell y'all that I didn't think that this was possible and I was going to meet my dream person, it happened. I just want to start this off with, a lot of y'all are not going to like what I have to say, but if you want to meet your dream man, this is what you're going to have to do. 1, you need to take accountability. What do I mean by that? I mean, I know we all got a little sassiness in us. We all got a little attitude. We all a little emotional. And there are ways that we could have dealt with situations just a tad bit better. And we're not bringing old habits into new relationships. We're not doing that. Number 2, I started doing things that made me happy. What does that mean? I started doing things that made me feel whole inside. I was cooking. I was going to workout classes. I got back into Pilates. I did my hair. I did my makeup. I started making myself feel good. So that way, when my dream man came along, I wasn't going to be codependent on him to make me happy, make me feel whole, and make me feel pretty. Number 3, I set boundaries. I also realized what it was that I wanted and what it is that I needed from my partner. And I feel like so many women go into a relationship and we're like, we want flowers, we want this, we want that, that's all great and everything. But if this is someone that you're really going to go through life with, you need someone that you can literally go to war with and know that you're going to come out the other end and still be partnered. But also, too, someone that you can go through life with and know that they're going to respect you and respect your boundaries and respect what it is that you need and what you want from your partner. But at the end of the day, it all starts with you. It starts from within you. If you want love, respect, honesty, loyalty, all of these things, flowers, even the smallest things, you have to give them to yourself. If you're not loyal and honest with yourself about what it is that you want and what you need, and what makes you happy and what makes your soul happy, you cannot expect someone else to do that for you. So yeah, that's all.
Sis, the best revenge is your glow up. Talk about how to heal and level up the feminine way. Class is in session. The way you heal at the heartbreak determines your next chapter. Ladies, we got to talk about the healing and the glow up that should happen at the heartbreak, because too many women stay stuck in pain and waiting for closure, or keep on thinking about what they lost. But let me tell you something. The real flex is how you level up and you never become a woman that he has access to again. Let's get it. Class is in session. And let's talk about first why so many women stay stuck after heartbreak. Too many women are focusing on the loss instead of the lesson. Remember I said take your L, and you know I'm not talking about no loss. Too much time overanalyzing, replaying conversations in your head and saying, why did he do me that way? But the truth is, your healing is not about him. It's about you. And if you want to come out of this better and not bitter, you need a game plan. All right, y'all. I'm giving you the 3 tips to help heal and glow up after heartbreak. Let's get into this lesson. To cut emotional access. Ain't no closure talks. You don't need to meet up. A high-value woman doesn't wait for closure. She creates it. I'm done. You don't need a last call, text, conversation. You're just done. Block, unfollow, and remove reminders. That's the tip. The relationship ended for a reason. Stop reopening the wound. And then 2, ladies, you have to heal and level up in silence. Then you pop out. The best transformation come when no one sees it coming. Don't waste time trying to prove your glow up. Just be the woman you were meant to be. So instead of posting those I'm doing better messages, ladies, I want you to actually do better. Hit the gym, drink your water, mind your business, glow up. Build your confidence and know that you're doing it for you, not for him. Then, ladies, I want you to shift from what I lost to what I gained. Remember, heartbreak is not just an ending. It's a new beginning for you. Focus on the lesson learned and not what you lost. You're a divine feminine woman. You believe that what's meant for you will never miss you. That wasn't meant for you. I have homework. I want you to write down 3 lessons that relationship taught you. And if you need help in this area, ladies, DM me. We're going to get you through. Because we're going to use those 3 lessons as fuel to build a life that aligns with what we want and what we deserve. Aligning with our highest self. Remember, ladies, the best revenge is getting back to yourself and then being the best version of you and never needing him again. Heal and glow up and let that be your only response.
If you are down or sad about a breakup, please, please, please watch this because this is about to be so good. This is the universal reason as to why you should not care or be sad after a breakup. And I just want to put a disclaimer out there that this is not a therapeutic approach. This is a theoretical approach based on physics, not therapy. So my science geeks know that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred from one thing to another within a system. Two or more people together make a system. So that means a relationship creates a system. So when you're going through a breakup and you're feeling pain, the more pain you feel, the more pain you're ultimately taking from the other person because energy is being transferred between you two. Let me show you. So two people in a relationship, so they're in a system, energy can only be transferred back and forth between the two. And even though you guys broke up physically, there's still a tie there energetically where energy is being transferred. So what happens when you sit down and you sulk and you're sad holding on to that negative energy? That means you carry that energy and the other person doesn't have to. So this is the kicker. You have to be the one to be happy. And obviously happiness doesn't come naturally with heartbreak, but you have to choose to be happy. And oh my goodness, y'all, see what happens when you choose happiness. The second you choose happiness, now that other person is forced to feel the pain. And we see this all the time, right? Two people break up and the girl's all sad and stuff in the beginning and that guy's out. He's living his life. He's kicking it with his friends. He's fucking other bitches. It's like nothing ever happened. And the second that girl's like, look, I'm not giving no more tears to the situation. I'm outside. I'm doing me. And she starts to operate from a place of happiness. What happens? Now that man is in a state of distress. He's looking at her live her best life. He's asking for her back, stalking her Instagram stories. Why does that happen? It's because there was an energy exchange. The reason why that man was able to be happy and just living his life in the beginning was because the woman was holding on to that sorrow that was in their relationship. When she flipped that switch and decided, I'm not going to be sad, the roles were reversed. She was no longer holding on to that negative energy and that pain. And when she let go of that negative energy, where does it go? It has to go somewhere. Boom, back to the other person. So when you're sad about something, choose to be happy. And any negative emotion will go back to sender. We're not condemning anybody. We're not like giving anybody bad vibes. We're just taking the negative energy that was given to us and returning it. And I hate to say it like this, but it's literally either you or them. Either you're gonna hold the energy or you're gonna let them hold it. That's up to you.
You want to know how I got over a man that I was so head over heels in love with? A man that I felt like was my last chance at love. A man I really thought I'd marry and be with. A man that I overextended myself for, trying to prove my love just for him to break my heart. I got over him by focusing on me, my why, and what lessons I could take from that heartbreak. I was hurt to the core. And I felt my pain and allowed myself to feel, but that crying night after night was only continuing to torture me. I was so focused on him and why he did me like that, instead of focusing on why I did me like that. Like, why did I think that that was love or that I could change him? Why did I beg for his love? Why did I stay for so long trying? I had to stop reliving the hurt and start processing it instead. I had to transfer that energy. I understood him and why he was the way he was so deeply. I knew about his childhood and why he was the way he was, but what about why I was the way I was? We think since we weren't so loving that we weren't the problem at all, or that we weren't the one needing healing. But if you're constantly pouring into someone that hurts you, or you're trying to make someone love you or change for you, then that's a problem. That's not noble. That's not even real love. Focusing on the lessons also brought me back to reality. It also armored me to move forward and be brave enough to try love again. I didn't want to remain stuck or never having a fulfilling, loving relationship. I didn't want to become savage or like the men that hurt me. So I got to processing. I got to figuring out what that heartbreak was trying to teach me. Enough about his ass and how he hurt me or how he needed to change, and more about me and moving on with my life, because he didn't deserve to take up any more of my time, energy, or space. That was something I wrote, and that is on my Instagram page. I've been that girl too. So I wrote that because I wanted women to get an idea of what real accountability looks like. I think sometimes how social media and other people frame accountability, they frame it as like you are almost blaming yourself or shaming yourself. It's none of those things. It's simply you understanding yourself better instead of trying to focus on the person that hurt you, instead of focusing on them and what was wrong with them and how they hurt you, which we all know they did, but forget about them. It's about you and your healing. So it's almost like you're centering yourself and what you need to figure out about yourself so that shit don't happen to you again, basically.
So I heard that my girls are going through a breakup and they don't know how to heal. And so I'm here to help you get over that heartbreak in a godly way. The first thing you're going to do is block this person on all social media and or go on a social media fast. You do not need to see this person as a reminder every single day of the pain that they caused you, okay? We are turning to Jesus and we are turning off the world. In my opinion, I think this next one is like the most important and something that helped me tremendously. Get plugged into your community. Rely on the people in your life that can speak godly wisdom into you and give you godly advice. Do not turn to your friends that are in the world because they're going to tell you to sleep with someone else, go out and party. No, none of that. None of that. We are going to godly women to pour into you at this time. This next one seems most obvious, but let yourself feel your emotions, but do it with God. Cry in the secret place with him. Just let his love and comfort and security just wrap you in a blanket. Do not manipulate yourself or gaslight yourself into thinking that you're farther along in your journey of healing than you are. Be where you are right now and let God partner with you to move through it at his pace. And lastly, focus on your health and your well-being. Go to the gym, clean your diet, wake up earlier, put all your energy and focus into bettering yourself. This is your time to be selfish and to build yourself back up as a daughter of Christ.
This one's for my anxiously attached babies who are going through a breakup. People in your life are telling you to just let them go. They're saying, just move on. Let them go. What they don't understand is that by nature of this anxious attachment style, you struggle to just let people go. What they also don't understand is because of this attachment style, you have been doing so much, the ways in which you have sacrificed, the ways in which you have stretched yourself so that you don't have to experience what it will feel like to have to let them go. Instead of inviting you to letting them go, though, I want to invite you to self-love. I want to invite you to self-choosing. I want to invite you to ask yourself, if I was somebody who loved themselves, how would I move in this situation? Instead of focusing on letting this person go, I want you to focus on showing up for yourself and asking yourself, what do you need? When you feel the sadness, when you feel the anxiety, when you feel the pain, when you feel the heartbreak, what do you need? And give yourself the things that you need because, baby, you truly, truly deserve to. Yeah.
Let's talk through some science-backed breakup tips that will actually help you heal. A little bit of background, I got out of a toxic relationship that I was in for 2 years. I healed in a couple weeks because I did it the right way using science. And now I'm weeks away from marrying the love of my life and I'm in the best relationship ever. And I just want to help anyone who's going through a breakup or trying to get over someone. Tip number 1, and arguably the best tip, is to make a list that you can read when you're sad of why this breakup is necessary from a positive perspective. When you go through a breakup, your brain gets very, very confused. And when it gets confused, it gets inflamed, which doesn't allow it to work properly, and you see an increase in negative thinking and also anxiety or just sadness in general. So if you can control your thoughts or help yourself out by making a list of positive things to read anytime that you get a sad thought or start feeling upset about the breakup, you are going to help yourself get to a better place faster. You're basically retraining your brain, so anytime that you have a sad thought, you're replacing it with a positive one and helping yourself out. When I wrote my list, I wrote things like, this breakup is necessary for me to heal and grow. I was not appreciated. I was not loved. That was not love. I made that up in my head and I'm going to heal. It's okay to be sad right now, but I know it's the right choice. I'm choosing joy, hope, love, forgiveness instead of pain, jealousy, anger, rage. I chose how I wanted to feel, and I read that list over and over and over, literally created a habit of reading that list every time I got upset until my brain changed and I thought those things. The second tip is to replace your old habits with that person. So for example, if you're used to calling them when you get in the car after work, you need to replace that action with calling someone else. Because when you get in the car and you have that cue, right? In a habit, there's a cue, a routine, and a reward. It follows the cycle over and over. When you get in the car and you get that cue of, oh wait, I should call them, and you think about them and you're upset, the sooner that you replace that habit and change it to calling a friend or calling a sibling, the sooner you're going to help yourself heal from that habit and alter it. Look at your old habit loops with that person. For me, a really big one was texting them good morning and texting them good night and calling them in the car. So instead, I started texting my siblings or a friend when I went to bed or when I woke up in the morning. And it just really helped me heal and change that habit loop that I was so used to for 2 years. Tip number 3, and some of you aren't gonna like this, but trust me on it, is you have to unfollow and block them, their family members, whoever's gonna remind you. You don't have to block like their friends, but just unfollow them. Seeing your ex online can be an emotional trigger, and that can slow down your recovery and your healing. So you want to take control of that emotional trigger by eliminating it. Tip number 4 is to consciously not choose self-sabotaging techniques or behaviors like binge drinking or partying all the time or just laying in bed and moping for weeks on end. When you're going through a breakup, you're already going through so many emotions, you have more stress, and it does make it harder for you to make kind of positive decisions. And if you actively choose healthy coping mechanisms instead of ones that will hurt you, you will build resilience, you will build self-trust, and you will heal much faster. Tip number 5 is do not get under someone in the hopes of getting over someone. Research shows that rebound relationships can actually delay healing if you're using it as an avoidance to deal with what's going on. And from my personal opinion, I just don't think it's worth it. I think instead of focusing on someone else, that could just make you feel more anxious, more upset, just avoidant of what's actually happening. Tip number 6 is to use this opportunity as a chance to turn your pain into purpose and passion. You can truly use this experience to help you grow, to do inner work, to find yourself, to find new things that you love, to use that pain to motivate you, inspire you, instead of take you in the opposite direction. Next tip is to practice self-compassion instead of self-criticism, because sometimes when we go through a breakup, we let our negative thoughts spiral and we think, well, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not this, I'm not that one. That is not the reality. The reality is that that relationship didn't work, and that's okay. But instead of picking yourself apart, working with yourself through compassion is going to help you so much. Saying things like, I'm beautiful, I'm loved, I'm going to find someone that works for my life, that supports me, appreciates me, I'm so kind, I'm growing, this experience is so beautiful for me. Reframing those negative thoughts. The next tip is to start moving your body, even if it's just going on a little walk or during a workout, because working out, it helps so much from a science perspective. Exercise will literally boost your mood, which you might need a lot of going through a breakup, because it releases endorphins, serotonin, and BDNF, which is a protein that's linked to brain healing and mood regulation. All of these little tips and strategies helped me so much when I was going through my last toxic little breakup, and I truly healed in such a short amount of time and was able to then move forward, know my value, know my worth, find someone that matched that. And now I'm so happy in such a healthy, great relationship, and I'm getting married soon, and I just cannot wait. But I would not be here if I did not take the time to heal properly. I love you, I believe in you, you deserve to heal, and you deserve to find someone who appreciates you and loves you and is truly your partner. I've shared my list that I wrote and read multiple times a day after my breakup. If you guys want me to share that list again, I'm totally fine with it. I love reading it. It's just really cool to look back on now that I'm out of it. So just let me know. Anyway,
How to get over someone and how to start viewing this breakup as the best thing that could have ever happened to you. And this coming from someone who has had their heart broken multiple times. So I created a foolproof way on how to get through a breakup, how to get over someone, not go back, and come out of it 10 times sexier. First step is accepting that it's done. I know that this is hard and you want to know why this person broke your heart. If there was anything that you could have done differently, you guys wouldn't have ended if you could have done this. Know, my love, that there's nothing that you can do to be enough for a person that you are not meant to be with. And if you could lose them, you are not meant to be with them. And now you're one step closer to the person who you are meant to be with. And I need you to understand and see that. Once you've accepted that, there are going to be a lot of feelings that come with it. And I want you to let yourself feel every single thing as intensely as you possibly can. I used to be like, oh no, I'm not going to be sad because that's going to mean that this person is winning, No, they already lost because they lost you, and you already won because you got away. So allow yourself to be human and feel the the normal feelings that come with any type of loss. Cry, scream right now if you can. Sing sad music. When I'm going through a breakup, people be thinking that I'm crazy because I will literally be driving and screaming at the top of my lungs just to let out as much aggression as I can. And then you're gonna journal how you feel. Write down exactly how you feel and just let it all out. Bottling all your emotions up is just gonna prolong the hurt. The third step is, while you're sad and while you're angry, you are going to write out every single bad thing that this person is making you feel. You're gonna write down everything you don't like about them, all the arguments, all the fights, all the times that they made you feel insecure or worthless. And if you can't remember, ask your friends, because I promise you they'll remember. Stop romanticizing it and saying, oh yeah, but I remember when he smiled at me, or I remember when she was touching me. No, don't remember those good moments. Honestly, just leave them in the past. Only write down the moments where he gave you the ick. Write down the moments where you didn't like something that they did. And when you revisit that list and when you read through that list, you're gonna see that you're worthy of so much more. And that is step 4. Once you've felt everything, once you've stopped romanticizing it, you are going to pour all of that love that you were giving to that person into yourself. You can have that much love for the wrong person. Just imagine how much love you're gonna have for the right person and how much love you can have for yourself. Okay, all the things that you were doing for that person, start doing it for yourself. You were waking up every single morning and tending to that person, texting that person, asking them how they slept. No, ask yourself how you slept. I don't care. Ask yourself, what can I do for me today? Go into the mirror, start doing mirror work, telling yourself how much you love you. Write down all your goals. You are so much more worthy than they are of that love that you were giving them, that amazing love. You have so much love to give, so give it to yourself. Start leveling up mentally and physically. Start going to the gym. Start doing whatever that you need to do in order to become your best self. That's why you gave yourself that time, because now I don't want you to think about them. There's money to be made. You don't have $100,000 in your bank account. You're over here being sad over a man. Go chase a bag. You have dreams that you want to fulfill, and you lost sight of those when you were in that relationship, so go and chase them. And now this is the step that you don't want to hear, but if you truly want to forget about someone, you have to cut contact with them. And I know that this is hard, but this is truly the key to getting over someone. Don't reach out to them and say, oh yeah, but I just need closure, or oh yeah, I just want to tell them that I'm over them. Or don't have them on social media because you want to show them that you're doing better than them, because that is still giving them power over you. You're gonna post a picture and every single time you're gonna be looking for their view. No, they don't deserve any space in your mind anymore. Leave it alone. Delete the number, delete the text thread, delete all the pictures. I know sometimes we want to keep the pictures because we want to be like, okay, but I want to have the memories. No girl, F the memories. Like, who cares? Leave it alone. Cut all contact with this person and just delete any trace of them. If you have something of theirs, depending on how they did you, either burn it or throw it out. Like, it doesn't matter. And the last and final step is just knowing that it gets better. I promise you it gets better. If you have the mindset of, oh no, I'm never gonna move on, I'm just always gonna be in love with this person, then that's how it's gonna be. You have to know and recognize that it hurts right now, but you are not always gonna feel like this. No feeling lasts forever. You are destined for some amazing and great things, and not everybody can come with you where you're going. Sometimes God reveals certain things to us so that we can cut those people off to get to where we need to go. So you're one step closer to your dream life, and you're also one step closer to the person who you're meant to be with. So I know it's hard right now, and I know that it feels like it's the end of the world, but know that this is the start of something so beautiful. Also, don't underestimate how fun it is to be single, especially when you're young and sexy like us. You got this, and I'll see you in 2 months when you're over them, okay? I love you. Bye.
This one thing helped me move on from the biggest heartbreak of my life. Saw another creator talking about this on here earlier, and it's a conversation that I was having over the weekend. I went through what was probably the most defining breakup of my entire life. Biggest disappointment that I've ever had in a relationship. I was so crushed, really couldn't see the good in any of it. Just felt heartbreak that like leaves you in physical pain. You're gutted. You have no hope that you're ever going to feel any better than you do in this moment. I started to be able to see the relationship ending as one of the biggest blessings of my life. Trust me, this took time to get there. It was not an overnight thing. I began to realize this person is never going to be able to give me what I actually wanted. And not necessarily because he was such a bad guy. He wasn't. but he didn't have the capacity, the ability to give me what I was looking for. And honestly, that was because he had a lot of his own work to still do. He wasn't able to do that and be in a relationship at the same time. And once I was able to stop blaming myself and even stop blaming him and wishing that he would do things differently or that he would come to some realization about our relationship. Once I was able to let go of those feelings and really realize, like, have that sort of epiphany kind of moment where I was like, this man cannot be what I'm asking him to be. He cannot do what I'm asking him to do. And whether can't or didn't want to, that was enough. And then I was able to see it, the breakup, the relationship ending, for the blessing that it was. What a gift you're giving me so that I can move on and find a person who can be what I need, wants the same things that I want, who's going to show up for me, going to be a partner to me. What a gift. And I started to be excited about what was next and who was going to come into my life next. But my dad always says, like, in order for you to receive the gifts of God, your hands have to be open, which means you can't be clinging on to old things. Promise you, the moment I was done, and I mean really done, I met the absolute love of my life. And he is everything I ever needed and wanted, and then some. It's not to say that our relationship is perfect. No relationship is. But there's an ease that comes with being with a person that's just the right fit, that wants what you want, that is fully committed and invested in you, and has the capacity and the desire to be the kind of person you want and need to be in a relationship with. I hope if you're struggling right now, dealing with a breakup, heartbreak, disappointment, that you remember to look for the blessing in it all, because I promise you there is a blessing in not getting what you thought you wanted, because something even more amazing is likely right down the road. Love you so much. Later.
If you are a girl, young lady, woman, who has just experienced a breakup, your heart is hurting, and you feel like you can't go on, like you literally feel like your heart is caving in your chest, I want to say something to you that will possibly rewire and have you to rethink your entire stance. Now, what I'm about to say may not take away the pain, but it will offer you a rationalized explanation to help you start moving forward. Now, what I want to tell you is two things, but I may not be able to get both of them in. Y'all know I'm kind of long-winded. And I am your big sister. And I want to tell you something that I wish that somebody told me when I was going through my heartbreak some years ago. 100% of your heart is hurting. Like, you feel a lot of sadness, grief, anger. You feel confused. You feel like you need answers to things that you may not ever get answers to. You're just all over the place. Many different emotions. Not good emotions. 70% of that heartbreak. Now, this is the heart, right? Let me tell you. This is the heart. 70% of that heartbreak is due to you thinking somewhere in your mind that the breakup has something to do with you. Now, let me explain. You probably thinking that, oh, if I was slimmer, he'll still want to be with me. If I was a little bit thicker, he would still want to be with me. If I was a little prettier, he would want to be with me. If I was a little more outgoing, a little more bubbly, a little more fun, he would want to be with me. If I didn't nag him so much, he would want to be with me. If I looked a little better in a bikini, he would want to be with me. If I cleaned up a little bit more around the house, he would want to be with me. If I was just more girly girl, not so tomboyish, or vice versa, he would want to be with me. If I liked the type of music he liked, he would want to be with me. If I smoked with him, go out and drink with him, he would want to be with me. So many things that you're going to basically internalize and think it was because of something you did or something that you could have done better. I'm going to offer you something. That man breaking up with you, cheating on you, deciding to move forward without you has absolutely nothing to do with you. I know. I pause right there for a reason. Has nothing to do with you. When girls hear, like when you hear life coaches like Tony Gaston say, look, he been with you for 10, 12, 15 years. He ain't putting a ring on it. He don't want you. You hear these podcasts that you, not the sorry podcasters, but the legitimate podcasts say, oh, you know, that man, he ain't serious about you. He don't want you like that. He don't like you like that. Women, we immediately go to, damn, well, why he don't like me like that? Why he ain't rolling out the red carpet? Why he ain't asked me to marry him? Why he got other women in his phone? We immediately go to that. And when we hear that a man is not serious about us, possibly because he don't really like us like that, he don't really want us like that, we take that as a jab. Like, we take it personal. Like, damn, he don't want me. He don't want to be with me. He don't want to marry me. He been with me all this time. He don't want to marry me. He don't want to create a life with me, create legacy with me, have a family with me. He don't want to do none of that with me. We be together all the time. When you hear a man don't want you, you immediately, it feels so crushing. But can I just tell you, him not wanting you is not a jab to you. Him wanting to break up with you, that is not a jab to you. That's a jab to him. Because if you do better, you'll do better. If this man came from a healthy household and y'all relationship was good, it was healthy, it wasn't a whole lot of craziness going on, right? And you just so confused, like, damn, why he just, like, it really came out of nowhere type thing. It wasn't like a mutual thing. This man just cheated on you out of nowhere. And you thought y'all were fine. That is a him problem, babe. It's not a you problem. It's a him problem. And the quicker you can understand that, the quicker you'll move on with your life. The quicker you understand that, oh, him rejecting me, you gotta be able to put your right hand up. Put my right hand up. You gotta be able to put your right hand up, look up to the sky and say, Lord, I thank you. I thank you. Because you don't know what you could be being protected from in the future. Don't fight it. Let it go. I was watching Bishop R.C. Blake's. He was like, when he was dating his wife, his now wife, when they were dating a long time ago, they first got together, and he knew that she wanted to get married. He knew he did not want to get married, and he told her, like, I ain't trying to get married. His wife was like, okay. He was like, the hell? She ain't argue him. She ain't go back. She ain't do nothing. She said, okay. And she moved on with her life, had a new man in like 2 weeks. Moved on. You got to be so sure about yourself. You got to know you so fly. You got to know you that girl to the point where if a nigga say, I don't want to be with you no more, or a nigga cheat on you, you be like, ew. Like, you got to really get disgusted by a dude who want to cheat on you. That's how so much you should be into yourself. You should be so into yourself that when you see you hear about your man cheating, or you find out that your man cheating, you be like, ew. What? Ooh, gotta go. Yuck. Yuck. You gotta be yucked Not crying and sobbing. You gotta be yucked. Woo. Do the dash. Let me get up out of here. It's gross. Get up in here. You gotta go. That's how much you gotta care about yourself. So I said all that to say, I know you want to sit there and you want to have a rationale as to what just occurred. You'll never get the answers from him. So I'm here to tell you, nothing to do with you. Good men, real wholesome good men, they don't sabotage. They don't sabotage their lives. They got plans. They got provision. They don't sabotage what's good for their life. You were dealing with a man child. Set yourself free, sis. Go to bed. Get on your knees. Tell God, God, I thank you. Thank you for the protection. Because you don't know what you could have been running into. I just watched something on YouTube, like a cold case, like it wasn't a cold case, but kind of like a case documentary. A girl was with a boyfriend out in Chicago for 5 years. Good looking girl, beautiful, good looking guy. This man, in like they last couple years, she contracted HIV from him. I think like last year. Contracted HIV from him. You don't know what God could be keeping you from. You ain't got a clue. You better thank him. I know you crying and you sad. You better find a way to mumble the words. God, I thank you, and God, I trust you.
8 months ago, I went through hell and split up with my fiance, who I had been with for 9 years. And after that breakup, I sat on the floor of the forever home that we bought together thinking, how the hell am I going to start my life all over again? I was terrified. But today, I am sat here in my brand new apartment, brand new city, I moved to and paid for all by myself. I've just started a brand new job 3 weeks ago that I love. I am honestly happier than ever. So how do you do it? How do you start your life all over again after the worst breakup of your life? I'll be honest. Picking myself up was the heaviest weight I have ever lifted. And I'm small, but Jesus, when you learn how to do it, it will be the best thing that you have ever done. Start by spending time figuring out, who do you want to be now? This new version of yourself. If you've been spending way too much time in the wrong relationship, way too much time putting up with the bare minimum, or worse, putting up with pain and hurt, see this comeback as a personal apology to yourself. Do it for her. Something clicked inside me and I asked myself, what is this trying to teach me? Because if they were meant to be for me, it wouldn't be this hard. And rather than seeing that breakup as a loss, I started to see that breakup as an opportunity to reinvent myself and to figure out, what do I really want? Who do I want to become? I tuned into my heart as the present 33-year-old version of me, and it started to reignite dreams that I've forgotten that I'd had, because I realized that actually throughout that relationship I started to lose myself. All this, I would never have been able to do this without having gone through the breakup. Now I'm putting all my energy into moving forward for this life, this new chapter for this girl. So start looking inwards. Now, I'm sorry to say it, but you're not going to get anywhere until you let them go. And I mean really, truly let him go. I have a lot of people in my DMs and in my comments in this new amazing community that I have, by the way, please join it. A lot of people saying it's been 6 months, it's been a year, and I'm still not over them. I'm still not over my ex. I think the problem is that you're trying to hold on and let go at the same time, and you are just getting nowhere. You are stuck. Get it? It's so hard trying to cut contact and cut someone out of your life. You're going to feel like you are missing an arm. I totally get it. But don't let that relationship be an anchor pulling you down. Memories of the bad stuff, memories of the good stuff. Let go of the weight. Every moment that you choose not to text them and not to call them, you are reaffirming your worth. You are saying to yourself, I deserve better. I want to move on. Learn to be done with them. Not mad, not angry, not bothered, just done. Finally, babe, I promise you there is a better life out there for you. There is hope. You just have to believe it. One morning, you will breathe just like you used to, and all that heaviness will melt away. Someday, all the love that you've given to all the wrong people will come back to you in the best ways possible. The right person is going to see every ounce of magic in you. But for now, focus on you. And just smile, baby, because you're alive, you've got options, and you've got this. Go get it.
But what if God didn't end that relationship to make you suffer? But just what if it was because that man no longer deserved you as a blessing? Maybe it was really just protection, and that rejection in God's work is the best thing, because he heard conversations you didn't, saw his heart, true desires and intentions, knowing that if it didn't end now, you'd be connected forever. Or it'd end with him cheating on you down the road and you becoming a single mother. So, it was now or never. So no. Change your perspective and adapt to the changes and become comfortable knowing that if you did nothing wrong, then God definitely removed them out your life. Not for suffering, but because he no longer deserved you, sweet girl, as a blessing.
If you're dealing with any kind of heartbreak right now, I have a message for you. The best way to get through heartbreak is to really just sit with your emotions. Sitting with your emotions really just means to allow yourself to feel whatever you're going through without distracting yourself from it, trying to run away from it, or trying to fix it right away. It's all about pausing, breathing, and telling yourself, this is what I feel right now, and that's okay. Instead of judging yourself and brushing it off, just give yourself that space to really just feel it. When you sit with it, you're being present and honest with yourself. And that's when the real healing starts, for real. It's not about being in a negative space forever. It's just about acknowledging it, like learning from it, and then letting it pass when you're ready. So that's my little message for y'all. I could do this like a step by step, but that's what I got for you today.